Right, let's do an update on the Nikau palms, or Rhopalostylis sapida. This is a feather palm from New Zealand, crown shafted, so quite tropical looking palm, sometimes called shuttlecock palm. Hardy-ish. I don't think I'd risk them in the ground unless I was going to protect them over winter, but at the moment they're still small. I have up potted them this year in slightly bigger pots, and they've put on a bit of growth. So we've got, like I say, these two I brought. I'll tell you the exact nursery I bought them from, because I know someone did ask me about these, and I actually asked for the update. Let's see if that's going to show up. There you go. Got there in the end. So that is I brought them online a few years back, probably, to be fair, about 4 years ago. I was buying I think at the time that was the Cordline Indivisor, which was hard to get hold of. So I was looking online, and that's the only place that had them at the time. So obviously, when you're getting something posted, you make it worth your while. And I always look what else they were selling, and they had some of these, literally just seedlings, probably 2 or 3 leaves, strap leaves. I think they're £5 each. At the time I didn't know nothing about them, I'd never really heard of them, but I thought we'll give it a go. And yeah, so this is 4 years on from a little tiny strap leaf seedling. They are pretty hard to get hold of, to be fair, in the UK. They did have some in the Palm Centre, I believe. I think they're about £40 each for a similar size to this, I'd imagine. But I believe they're sold out now. Or you can get hold of the seeds, but that's going to be a slow process, because they are a fairly slow growing palm. Like I say, these are 4 years old from a strap leaf seedling, which might have been already a year old. So you could say these are probably 5 years old. Quite a nice deep green leaf. Like I say, when they do get bigger and you get that sort of crown shaft, I think it's supposed to be a purplish. They did say on the tag, but I think they're sort of faded out a bit. Yeah, can't really read that now, but yeah, that's obviously a long way off. As these get bigger, I may well try one on the ground and keep one as a potted specimen. Yeah, maybe next year. These are sort of definitely don't want full sun. They do, no matter how much you acclimatise them in the spring to the sun, I've received damage every time I've tried to harden them off. So I have them in a sort of a dappled shade situation, and they seem to appreciate that. They do want to be kept fairly damp through the growing season. Obviously this time of year start to cool off now, so I won't keep them quite as damp. Wouldn't let it dry totally out, but they are going to be overwintered. And I probably did do a little bit on that when we looked inside the summer house here, where I'm overwintering a lot of sort of half-hardy plants. I think I did mention them in that, but someone asked for a sort of full update, so this is what we're trying to do here. So yeah, again, probably about 5 years old. Not looking too bad. One does seem to have grown slightly better than the other. I mean, they've both been exactly the same situation, position-wise, in the garden. They both get watered and fed at the same time. So I'd put that down to pure genetics. You know, sometimes certain plants in the same species will, you know, outperform another one. That's same with people, I suppose. Yeah, so every plant is going to grow slightly differently, but like I say, this is a plant which is, for me, pretty hassle-free. Like I say, overwintered in the summer house, kept fairly dry, but I won't let it dry out totally. Probably water, just a sprinkle of water every couple of weeks, and they seem to be fine over winter. And say the danger time is bring them out in the springtime again, and sort of just acclimatising them to the light levels. But yeah, I mean, I can't really tell you much more than that. Like I said, I'm not claim to be an expert. All I do is tell you my experience with certain plants, and for me this one's been quite an easy one, and like I say, fairly slow, but at the same time I think that's going to be quite a rewarding palm as it gets bigger. And yeah, I will maybe next year or the year after get one of these in the ground, maybe the bigger one of the two, and if I can find a suitable position for it, and yeah, see how we go. So that is the Nikau palm. Like I say, I mean, if you can get hold of one, I think they'd be a good candidate to grow outside, and you know, just protect over winter, maybe fleecing it on the frosty nights, or even build a shelter over the top of it, something to stop that frost hitting the leaves. But yeah, I think we'll leave it there. I hope that's a interesting update for you. Like I say, it's not a palm you see talked about a lot, especially in the UK, but like I say, I think worth getting one if you can find it. Right, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.